Bitcoin news. Bitcoin hash rate falls 17% overnight after China mining crackdown. So the province of Sichuan basically got told to stop mining and they just pull the plug, and that reduced the hash rate by 17% in the last 24 hours. And yeah, 26 mining farms just literally stopped. Falling hash rates can hurt Bitcoin's price. In April, outage in Xinjiang cut Bitcoin's hash rate by 30% and contributed to a 10,000 decline in Bitcoin's price. This time, Bitcoin fell 5.71% to 34,000 and even more, down to 32,000 at the time of this recording. That's a less pronounced dip than many of the top 20 coins by market cap. But guys, here's why China shutting down all these Bitcoin farms is actually a good thing. Number one, and the reason why they shut it down was because of the energy use. So in this part of China, they are using coal as the power to actually do the Bitcoin mining. So for it to be shut down is actually a good thing. That the negative press on Bitcoin that it uses too much energy is going to go out the door with this. Number two, reduce in the hash rate is actually not necessarily a bad thing. It seems quite crazy and dangerous. That's why the price reacts on a more emotional basis. But in reality, falling hash rates do not actually compromise the security of Bitcoin at all whatsoever. So that's not a problem either. And also reducing the amount of Bitcoin mining within China is probably going to be a good thing than not, because it reduces the control of China over Bitcoin overall, because China is basically at the centerpiece of FUD and market manipulation in general. And for this to be taken out is a good thing. Not to mention, if China were to then allow it back again, then boost up the price again, therefore resulting in a price manipulation again. But look, it's actually not a bad thing that this has happened at all. And overall, Bitcoin can still remain quite bullish, like this company here, long on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polkadot inside China's most successful crypto venture firm. Continued Capital's diamond hands and belief in the long-term prospects of crypto have made it one of the most successful Chinese venture firms in the industry. They're going long on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polkadot, which is obviously very, very good choices, as you and I know, in this market. One of the most successful Chinese crypto venture firms, perhaps the most successful, is Continued Capital, and I really love their name. Intentionally, the name of the company, Kendingnyo, is a homonym that sounds like a Chinese word for guaranteed bull, as in bull market. Kending means like definitely, and Nyo means bull. So, and it sounds like continue as well, which is amazing. Continue, Kendingnyo. But it's a fitting name. The recent bull market has made Continue a massive success. The two founding partners, Hongjiang Li, who lives in China's Shandong province, and Xiaohong Lin, who lives in California. They're among the largest Chinese backholders of Omise Go, which I've never heard of, Zilliqa, Polkadot, and ICP. Whew, ICP. Oof. But anyway, maybe they're getting into it now. Continued Capital's philosophy of aping into crypto's foundation, building blocks, and holding through bear markets has earned it a solid reputation in Chinese crypto circle, which is great. Pima and Lin are the guys. Pima is actually an alternative name that he gave himself based on this epic Chinese tale. I love it when Chinese people give themselves really interesting nicknames, which is great. They entered into the crypto space in 2013, fascinated by the burgeoning crypto discussion on Twitter and Bitcoin talk, which is really interesting. That, as you know, is a fantastic time to actually get into the market. And they have a really, really interesting quote right here. It says, "One must conquer the bear to harvest the bull." We never wanted to be full-time investors, Pima told. But as we got deeper into crypto, there was a need for institutional money to invest and push the ecosystem forward. Around the time that the duo went all into crypto, Ethereum took off. What a great time. Most people think our returns are made from our recent investments, says Pima, but that's not true. So Continue decided to place heavy bets on Omisego, which is an Ethereum scaling solution, kind of like, I'm guessing, what Polygon is right now. And Polkadot and ICP, both alternatives to Ethereum. These projects are now household names, at least in crypto households. But in the bear market of 2017 to 2019, few people dared to invest anything, let alone heavily. So they actually invested into ICP quite early on. For example, Continue invested 9,000 Ethereum, which is a lot. Polkadot in 2017, when Ethereum was around $400. Can you bloody believe that? DOT was 0.05. Wow. And in 19, the fund further invested $5 million USD when DOT was 0.8. Today, DOT's at a peak of $48. I have no clue when or if the men liquidated any of their holdings, but they could have made as much as $3 billion on the 2017 investments and $300 million on the 2019 investments, which is amazing money. Talk about whales in China, right? Why didn't other China-based crypto VCs do so well? Well, they could have had they played the long game, but most investors in China want to make money quick, like everyone. They steer clear of projects that require multiple years of lockup, which is what most solid projects require. And lockups never scare us. If we have conviction in a project, we'll stay in for the long term. Guys, something to be learned about this philosophy. Moving forward into the Bitcoin markets. Look, Bitcoiners, they're not letting go. They're just continue holding onto Bitcoin, as demonstrated by this graph, depending, even at this price dip that we're in right now. We're also seeing that Bitcoin is moving from weak and strong hands. As you can see from back, that's when coronavirus hit. And look, the strong hands are coming back in to actually jump right into the market, which is fantastic to see. And similar things are happening right now. And so we can expect some similar growth that we've seen back then now. And see that drop there. is so much bigger than the drop that we're seeing. So everyone's having a big cry about it, but to be quite honest, like that dip then was actually much greater. So taking advantage of this dip, even if it goes even further down to that mid 20,000s, I think a good price increase is going to come in anyway. We're looking further into who's selling. Whales are not selling, sharks aren't selling, dolphins aren't selling, big holders are holding. That's evident from the graph that we see here. And look, that's true. Look, we're seeing the treasuries at the moment 6.8% being held by ETFs, countries, public companies, and private companies. And we can see that they're all doing immensely well. And this number is going to increase, as at least according to the Winklevoss twins, who are billionaires in cryptocurrency. And so I think overall the prospect is looking good for Bitcoin. As we see more and more institutional demand come into the market, then we're definitely going to see the price increase on Bitcoin. Not to mention this tweet from Michael van der Poel. As you can see, this is the institutional phase at the moment. We're in the awareness phase. And after we come out of this, we're going to go quite parabolic as well, according to this particular theory. And these things are well established understanding of new things that come into the market, like cryptocurrency, as we see. So it's really encouraging to see so many companies. We know MicroStrategy, we know Tesla, investing into Bitcoin as a form of their corporate treasury, as well as companies and countries that are investing into them as well as some small countries that are trying to get onto Bitcoin as a substitute for their legal tender. We're seeing strong growth on the networks as well. People are coming into it, which is great. And so this is not showing any sign of any bearish movement in the market at the moment. Further encouraging news that we're actually seeing institutional money moving into Cardano and Stellar. Probably should have included this in the altcoin news video that I've just done, but here it is. And yeah, they're moving away from Bitcoin and Ethereum while it takes a breather. This is more on the short-term basis that these institutions are making these moves. So ADA and XLM are receiving positive inflows from big investors in the past, with Cardano saw inflows of 1.7 million and XLM inflows of 1 million. And look, overall in that week, Cardano is down 1.5% and XLM is down 7%. But overall, they are very, very bullish, and they are good investments to make to actually stretch out your risk curve so as to make better returns. And the institutionals are seeing into that and diversifying their portfolio into Cardano and Stellar, which everyone is very, very, very bullish on at the moment, at least the smart ones anyway. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you go and like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, and follow my socials so that you can be updated with daily news on crypto, so that you can become a better, much better informed trader, investor for cryptocurrencies. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.